It's one of those things, and I hate to say it, like there's a lot of people who peripherally have these same types of stories. It wasn't someone who's in my immediate family, but it's a person who was a part of my life and coming up. So the person who is now no longer with us was a friend of mine. We grew up, played together. We did everything that kids do. Roughly about the time that I was on my way to college, unbeknownst to me at that point, he was on his way to prison. Fast forward 15 years, I'm with my grandmother. She just went grocery shopping, and his grandparents actually lived across the street. I see this person just kind of walking across the street. It was him. I say his name, and he responds and comes across the street. I was like, "Man, is that you?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's me." And I'm like, "Man, where you been?" And he just, he was real straightforward about it. He's like, I was locked up. And I was like, "Man, well, how long you been out?" I think he said literally like a month. Just gotten out of prison. And so that being the case, told him, give me your number so we can, we can catch up. And so, like I say, fast forward a few weeks, maybe a month, and I was over at my grandmother's house again. I called him like every week or two. I was trying to get a hold of him. And I figured he might be working, doing whatever, trying to get back to life. I saw my friend's family. They had gathered, and how everybody's just like asking, how you doing and all that. And I asked him, I was like, well, how is my guy doing? Like, how's he doing? I've been trying to call him, see what's up. And everybody got real quiet. And then after a few, seemed like forever, but like a few seconds probably was, his aunt spoke up, and she's like, well, he got killed a couple months ago. And so I just asked him what happened, and they said he owed somebody money, and he was at a club or something, trying to enjoy himself, and I guess he saw this person, got scared, and so he ran, and this person shot and killed him. Here in the city that's got the top of every bad list that you can imagine, and what's the solution? And the solution is definitely not having more cops and spending ridiculous amounts of money on that, but engaging people before they get to those points, and helping them to learn how to deal with all the things that people are dealing with, so that things like that don't happen. The thing that for sure keeps people off that path is constant intervention, constant community. Is one of those things that we gotta do something about. And so, like, for other situations like that, what I see is that there's no difference between a young kid around the corner here on 20th and Burleigh and some kid off Port Washington in Whitefish Bay or Glendale, except for the fact that that kid, other than their racial background, or maybe even because of it, and everything that we know is the history of the city, has more opportunity, more community, more engagement in their well-being than the young person over here, more than likely. But in the case of, like, when it comes to violence and gun violence and violence period, it's people not having the tools and opportunity to learn how to deal with stuff in a way that's healthy.